Today I'll be doing something a little different on the archives. I'll be doing a mini-series on each individual building that Saline Creek Pioneer Village has on their grounds. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I'll be posting each Thursday so you can catch a glimpse of what the early pioneer settling days look like from the 1800s to the 1860s. Before we begin this episode, I'm going to give you a little background on the Pioneer Village to kick off the first part of this mini-series. The original ground was a 175-acre farm, when bought in 1863 by the county for $1,402.50. Originally, it was to be used by those who were less fortunate. As it sits today, the Saline County Historical Society runs and operates the village, and currently contains one of the original structures that still stands on the property, the Pauper Farmhouse, also known as the Poor House. The museum opened the grounds in 1965 for the people to come visit. Over the years, they have added their collection of buildings and have obtained numerous cabins, a barn, a church, a country store, a jail, and a school. Each of these structures, other than the Pauper House, was moved to the village and individually numbered and transferred to be put in their final resting place. On this episode, me and Crystal Wilson will be giving a tour of the Chenault School, which was built in 1919 as a replacement for the log cabin in 1859. Its original location was in Section 8 of Raleigh and would find its final resting place in the village in 1971.
School. So this is a school front that was, I think it was located in Somerset. I have to look to be 100% sure. But 1850s, one room community schoolhouse. A lot of the things in here are still original and were moved with the school. A few of the things that you'll find in here were from other local schools. The desks were not original to Chenault. A few of them come from McKinley here in town when they had McKinley Grade School, and a few other local schools as well. All the textbooks in the back are older copies of some of the texts from local schools, and that boiler in the back is not original. It's from another schoolhouse that couldn't be salvaged, but some of the pieces inside could be.
Awesome. So this is exactly what it looked like, set up, t-shirt.
I mean, I think for the most part, you would have all grades in here at the same time. It was very rare to have a student that was over 8th grade. Usually by 8th grade, most kids were staying at home and helping on the farm or with the store full-time, depending. School in the 1850s would have looked a lot different. They didn't go to school. I mean, to get a good 3 months in the school year was a good year. You got quite a bit done with the 3 or 4 months of school. But the kids would not have come during important times of planting and harvest and things like that. I like to joke and tell my students the reason we have the summers off is not give you a break. It's because there would have been a point when you would have, in the past, they would have needed you on the farm.
Yeah.
So now that they don't need you on the farm, we should probably just let it go all school year.
And they're like, no.
Yeah, they don't have any part of that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so here's that one's pictures from 1937.
Do y'all do anything with this building? I know, y'all do reenactments and stuff like that on this land.
Yes. Yep. In May, we'll actually have, I think it's May 15th. We have Frontier Day, so we'll have someone here giving tours, and when kids are usually able to do field trips, we usually do a field trip day, and they come and sit like they would. school was a lot more than just school. You had to do chores. You were the custodians. You went and chopped the firewood, or you all froze.
Right.
You had to take a break at lunch and make sure your horse had food and water.
Right,
And
right.
like, there was different, so very different looking school day than what they're used to.
I guess, structure that they would have.
Yes. Yeah, so this is a little book that was put together about Chenault.
Mr. and Mrs. Chenault was paid $5 for the 1 square acre he sold near Galatia to build a school. A warranty deed for the ground was dated December 12, 1859. In 1945, after a survey and recommendation on Illinois schools, the Chenault School was closed. One portion of the district was annexed to Galatia and the other to Raleigh. Mrs. Bruce taught final classes in the 1947 to 1948 school year. Incidentally, she received $150 a month. In 1951, school trustees sold the building and ground to Richard Del Grillo, a former pupil who used it for grain storage. Finally, after years of vandalism, the school was donated by Mr. Grillo to the Historical Society Museum. It was dedicated on the site September 7, 1971, having been moved here the previous winter. If you guys like this video, make sure to like and leave a comment of some of your favorite parts. Also, make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos on my channel. I'll see you next Thursday as we continue this mini-series of the Pioneer Village.